So moved all the way up in Ottawa, Michigan, middle of the woods. And I was like, okay, I'm going to become a farmer, like actually become a farmer. So I started growing a lot, but then I'm like, dang, the winter's here. I mean, the summers here are so short, the winters are so long, I can hardly grow what I want to grow. But being up in Michigan, I was able to kind of just appreciate the business more, develop it better. Yep. And so when we moved back to Indy last year, I just put everything full force. I quit the 9-to-5, the persecution, and just started investing my time into the business and realizing that it's not just about me, but it's about bringing my community back together because we're broken. Yeah. And a big reason why we also left was because our primary target customers is our community. Yeah. You know, people who look like me and you. Yeah.
Welcome to Underdog Talk. I'm your host, Eric Jones Jr., and I have conversations with successful underdogs. And today's no different than any other day. I have successful underdog David Johnson, co-founding Body Buzz with Adrian Selman. David's become a leader in promoting wellness through natural approaches, deeply impacting his community as an educator, a holistic nutrition and herbalist, is dedicated to helping achieve health and awakening the consciousness of our community. Happy to have you on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
No problem. So I need a fun fact.
Fun fact. I'm from Flint, Michigan.
Okay. You from so you like are you into sports?
Nah, not really.
Not really? Okay.
I spend my time addressing other issues, other matters.
Got you.
But I say Flint, I'm from Flint as a fun fact because a lot of people know Flint about the water crisis. Yeah. But before that, you know, just the violence. So yeah, you know, just growing up in that environment kind of helped drive what I'm doing today.
Got you. Yeah, my mom's side of the family is from Detroit, so I used to be in Michigan, like in the summers. I'm from Michigan City, Indiana, so it's so funny because if I say I'm just from Michigan City, they're like, "Oh yeah, what part of Michigan you from?" No, I'm from Indiana, not from Michigan. So yeah,
it's probably Michigan City, Michigan too.
It might be. It probably is. Probably a little small. Like people don't know it's in Miami, Indiana. They was like, "It is." Yeah, it's in Atlanta, Indiana too. I worked selling Kirby vacuums. And we used to go different places. Oh, shout out to you for bringing me a tea.
Of course.
It's good. I ain't even gonna lie.
Tell me what's in it.
It's peach, lemongrass, blackberry leaf, lemon peel.
Yep.
It's good. It's like, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm not a big healthy drinker type. Like certain stuff doesn't get my taste buds. Like I'll be like, especially like peach. Certain peach stuff I like, certain peach stuff I don't. But I really like. I would buy a couple of those and drink those and have them at the house. And I'm not just saying that because I'm honest.
Because you're on camera.
No, I would have said something before. I'd have been like, I don't know. Because when I seen peach, I was like, ooh, okay. Let me take a sip before I get. Let me take a sip before I get on camera because I don't want to. My face talks before I talk.
Yeah, no, well. It's natural peach, so that's completely different than artificial peach.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to get into it. Can you tell us the story of how and why you transitioned into Body Buzz?
Yeah. Long story short, I was working in big pharma, doing, drug development, research, thinking I was going to save the world that way. And I just realized that's not what it was. Our healing, our medicine, it grows right outside. Yep. And so that kind of gave me that push to just start exploring my own health, taking it more serious, and just what Earth already had to offer instead of trying to do all this research on new stuff with, synthetic ingredients and false advertisement when it comes to this medicine will help with X, Y, and Z, but it'll come with A through Y side effects. Yeah. So that's really what started it all.
Okay. So was like being in this certain field, was this something that you wanted to do like since a little kid, or was it something that kind of like as you got a little older, you was like, oh, let me try this out?
Yeah. No, I mean, ever since I was younger, I always knew I wanted to help people, just based off of where I was from and, the environment, everything I would see. And that kind of just led me to thinking, oh, okay, well, all I always heard was, being a doctor. That's how you help people, doing something in the medical field.
Yep.
So I explored that option, but when I was in college, I didn't do the best.
Yeah.
And once I got out of college and got a job, I just realized this not for me. I always loved growing as well. So that's a big part of what Body Buzz is as well, is that we're providing organic, natural foods to people.
Got you. So that's a good thing that I feel like I'm kind of the same. I've always like wanted to help people. I even was more like a helpful person. I was a servant type of person even when I was a kid. Didn't never realize until I got older of like, oh, you need to go speak and inspire people. So it's crazy when the full circle comes around of how you were able to like kind of fulfill that dream from being a kid.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a strong believer in, our words have power.
Yep.
So 5 years ago, I knew in my mind that I was going to be doing something helping people. I just didn't know what it would be.
Yep.
And so that's the cool thing about life, is that the unexpected is always what happens, and you just go with it.
That is true.
It feels right.
Yeah, because if you would have asked me what I was going to be doing before my son was born, I don't
tell
know.
you.
Make it to tomorrow. So given your experience in traditional medicine and holistic health, what are some key insights you could share about nutrients for like our community? Because a lot of people, we don't know fruits and vegetables. We don't know that a lot of the stuff that can be helpful for us actually grows in the ground and stuff like that. So what are some key insights that you can share?
Yeah. Well, like right now in America, 6 out of 10 people have a chronic disease. And 4 out of 10 have a mental illness. In the Black community, it's even higher.
Wow.
And so I always like to start off with that, because people need to understand the severity when it comes to having a healthy diet versus a poor diet.
Yeah.
And our community is the sickest group of people in the world right now. Well, not in the world, I would say the country.
Yeah.
But our people in general, melanated people, we're probably some of the sickest in the world based off of the foods that are being provided to us. So that's why I took the initiative to grow and show people and teach other people that this stuff is so easy to do. You plant the seed, you water it, you maintain it a little bit, boom, you got food. Not only do you just get one piece of, fruit or vegetable off of that plant, you get an abundance.
Yeah.
So it's just important that we kind of start to recognize we have to incorporate more of natural and nature into our lifestyles.
So you have to do a lot of research, huh?
Yeah, a lot of reading. I read a lot. And with my science background, because I have a bachelor's in neuroscience, I had to spend a lot of time reading scholarly articles, publications, boring old papers. So there's so much evidence out there on herbs, on fruits and vegetables as medicine. It's available to us, but not a lot of us know how to fully comprehend or even find that type of information online. Yeah,
that was the part, comprehend, like understand what certain stuff is for certain things. Like I ain't gonna lie, I'm skinny as all get up, but I'm fat. I like to eat. I've tried eating healthy. Maybe I haven't got the right food. Some stuff I do like, some stuff I don't. But I notice, like, when you eat certain stuff, it does affect your body. And it's crazy because I forgot who I was asking, but I'm from, like, the 90s. I was born in the 80s and 90s, baby. So I was like, we didn't drink water. Like, we drank water out of a faucet. Like, or out of the water hose because you were outside.
But we didn't have bottled water.
Yeah, I don't even remember bottled water. I remember my grandma having Pepsi and grape soda, and it's like, how did we survive off of eating all the, like, we think soul food is just the best food. It's really not that great for us. Mm-hmm. So how did people survive off of that eating so bad?
I would say just strong will to survive. You know, when you have to do something to survive, you do what it takes. Yeah. But also I think that with a lot of people having a history, especially in the Black community, I grew up around a bunch of different people involved with herbs, people who farmed, you name it. And a lot of other people did as well. I'm sure you have some people, in your family who farm or grow something. Mm-hmm. And so it's there, but we're so disconnected from it because our realities have us consumed. Yeah. And that we're not really paying attention to the things that really matter. Because without food, how could any of this exist? Yeah. And right now, I would say Black farmers represent only under 2% of all the farmers in the country. Wow. And so with that being a big issue, we have to recognize we got to start growing our own food. Yeah. I was in the grocery store today, and the mist that sprays over the food, it's not water. It's attached to a whole chemical called Produce Max. Y'all can look it up. What? And it's not water. What? So it's like, every piece of health that is around us is being tampered with. Yep. So, I think if we all kind of just reconnect with nature and dive back into our roots, which is farming, growing, living off of the land, not necessarily being cavemen and living in tents, but more so just knowing how to be stewards of earth. Yeah. And how to sustain and be able to feed ourselves and our families, because the grocery stores won't always be around, right? Yeah.
And even with that, though, the fruits and vegetables that are in the grocery stores aren't all real. And people, like, be like, oh, you got to eat this and that. And it's like, that's not even real, because isn't it true that real bananas got seeds in them? Yep. And you at the grocery store, y'all, oh, let's give our babies these bananas, but those aren't the real bananas.
Not the real bananas.
So
the term is genetically modified.
Yeah.
So you'll see on stuff GMO.
GMO?
That's genetically modified, yep.
So growing up, you say you were around people that farmed and grew stuff, but were you always eating healthy? And if you weren't eating healthy, what was like the transition from going from what we normally eat in our community to eating what we should be eating?
Yeah. So growing up, it was a single parent household. So my mom, and it was 4 of us. Mm-hmm. And she did always make sure we ate, fruits and vegetables. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you got 4 kids. Yeah. You're living on minimum wage, which I think was $7.25. Yeah, I think that's still the minimum wage now. That's crazy. Yeah. So, of course, we would get a lot of our food from places like Save-A-Lot or the corner stores. Yeah. So, my childhood, even though we would have to eat fruits and vegetables, it wouldn't be all the time. Yeah. Because it wasn't always accessible. We were in a food desert. Yeah. Which means, there's no source of, nutritious food within a mile or a mile and a half of where you live. I think the closest grocery store for us was like 5 miles away. Oh, wow. And we didn't always have a car. So the corner store, the Little Caesars and the chicken spot, that was our food. Yeah. So just going through that and recognizing that as I became older, I started just to appreciate a healthy diet a little bit better. Now that I have control over it. That's
crazy that you say that. Because I don't live, like where I live, I don't drive, so I Uber. So I'm a gas station warrior. I might get some chips, snacks, and stuff because that's right there. Mm-hmm. But then I realized I had to go somewhere and I had to walk home. And I realized, I'm like, all these is right here. Let me at least go to the store and get some actual food, and rather than just getting this food that I know isn't healthy for me. So I'm trying to turn the leaf on that on that part of it. So
what'd you get?
What did I get?
Some fruit, some vegetables. What'd you get?
No, I don't. The thing is, when it comes to fruit, I don't like the texture of a lot of it.
What? Okay.
Yeah, like I don't like watermelon. I don't really like grapes. I can eat grapes though, but it just depends. The only fruit that I would say,
which fruit do you like?
Pineapples.
Okay.
Pineapples and strawberries was cool back in the day. I won't eat as much, but I would say those two. I would eat pineapples all day.
Yeah, the strawberries ain't the same as they were growing up.
No, but back then though, they was putting sugar in it, so it's a little different. But yeah, I would say pineapple. I can't.
Okay, well, pineapples are great for your digestive health. So
yeah.
If that's the fruit you like, that's
what's the
with.
best kind of the best? Well, I guess the best way would be getting the actual pineapple. Is getting the juice, like the juice in the can and that stuff. Is that good for you, or not really?
Yeah, not really. Because if you turn it around, you'll see. Okay, well, what's this syrupy liquid it's in? High fructose corn syrup. Horrible for us. Okay. That's made from genetically modified corn. So, but it doesn't say that on the label.
Yeah.
But too, I think our community, we have to just start reading the ingredients to the foods we buy. A lot of the foods we like. Even next time you go to the gas station, you pick up that go-to snack. Turn around, look at the ingredients. You can be like, nah, I can't even pronounce that. What is that? You're gonna put it down.
Yeah.
So I think just being a little bit more conscious of it all, and we'll be able to start making some change.
Have you do you make your do you make your own food, you make your own stuff, or do you still depend on somebody else cooking for you and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, well, we live in a big city, and Broganville Farm, which is where we farm at, it's about 6 acres, but we're only farming on probably like a quarter of an acre right now until we expand. But we're also growing at 3 other locations throughout the city. So in the summertime, while we are growing, yes, we utilize that as food, but I can't grow everything.
Yeah.
I'm just one person.
Yeah.
So farmers markets in the summertime have a lot of organic, fresh, local foods that are way more nutritious than the ones in the grocery stores.
Yep.
But I do still also go to the grocery store for things that I can't find at a farmer's market.
Okay.
And in the winter, I have to depend on the grocery store.
Yeah.
It eats me up, but
so how do you go about going into the grocery? So you're a person that eats healthy, normally more natural foods, and you go into the grocery store where it's a lot of processed food. How do you even go grocery shopping if it's not a health foods type place?
Yeah. Well, I mean, any grocery store has some healthy options. So, even if I go into, let's say, Save-A-Lot, I know I could at least get some fruit or vegetables.
Okay. Yeah.
That would probably be the healthiest thing up in there.
Yeah.
But even I could go to Meijer, and, that's a huge store. So you just really got to pay attention, and you'll see a healthier option, even of a processed food. It might have just 3, 4, or 5 ingredients, whereas the other version has 20 ingredients. You just got to look. And so I use this app called Yuka. It's Yuka. And literally it's free. You can scan all the food at the grocery store, kind of like you do with Instacart.
Yep.
And it pulls up the quality of it. Why is it considered good? Why is it considered bad? All the hazards in it, which are basically the ingredients.
Yeah.
And it just gives you an alternative to a healthier option. So that also helps too. So I don't have to do all the research. Because it's a lot. It's so many options in the grocery store. It's a little overwhelming.
Yeah, and see, I don't like going. My mom always told me don't go hungry, because then you be getting stuff you don't even really need. You just is like, oh, that look good or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I probably need somebody to go grocery shopping for me.
So that's what we do with Body Buzz too. So part of our business is also nutrition one-on-one education. And we'll go grocery shopping with you and just show you how to shop the right way.
That's dope.
And I remember seeing that on the news growing up as a kid, and I was like, that's so silly. But now I'm like, wow, that's actually important.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're still having to do that years later.
Yeah. I think it's because of the world that we live in. Because I feel like anytime someone with a big name or of importance brought up how to eat healthy or how to be healthy, it's like something happened to them, or or the big thing I would say within the last maybe 5 to 10 years, CMOS. stuff like that. We never heard of it. It's been around for years. You don't hear stuff or it pops up or everybody's vegan now. I'm like, okay, so there's people telling us that we should eat healthy and do these different things. So what are some foods that as Black people we need to eat? Like to help us live longer, because that's part of our problem is our blood pressure and diabetes and all those different things because of things that we eat. What are some foods that we should be eating as Black people?
Yeah, watermelon.
I hear that. I don't know.
It's a community food, right?
Yeah.
It feeds so many people at once. Plus the seeds, we can digest them. So many different vitamins and minerals present. But not just watermelon. Honestly, any fruit, any vegetable, grains like quinoa. It's kind of similar to rice in a sense.
Okay.
Lentils.
What's that?
It's kind of like it's a member of the pea family.
Okay.
Beans. Just more natural foods, nuts, seeds, instead of chips and cookies and everything that's put on, the big screen right in front of us at the grocery stores. We got to kind of drift away from that because that's there to distract us from actually picking the healthier stuff.
Yeah.
So we just got to, honestly, and everybody is different. So you know what you like, you know what you don't like. And that's how you figure out what to buy. You see something that sounds good to you, you buy it. You just make sure it's a good option. But another thing that we need to start doing as a community is staying away from all the sugar. It's in everything.
Yeah.
From the chips, from the mac and cheese to the plant-based milks. It's in everything. So I think sugar is one of the main things messing with us that we got to stay away from. It's in the pasta sauce. It's in ketchup.
Yeah.
It's in everything.
Yeah.
And I think this is based off of the CDC. Sorry, not the CDC. Based off of the FDA, one of those groups. They say that they recommend only 24 grams of sugar a day for women and 30 grams for men. But then someone drinks a whole bottle of Pepsi, that's 65 grams of sugar right there.
Wow.
Right? So, it's a lot of the small, little bad habits that we're practicing that we got to kind of start to pinpoint and remove. Because if we don't, there's no way that we can improve as an individual, a family, or a community.
So, you said a lot of good stuff, but I got some chips and some cookies sitting over there waiting for me, and I just really do I need to eat them? But that made me think about when we were younger. We drank Kool-Aid a lot.
Yeah.
And some people Kool-Aid was just sugar.
Nothing but sugar.
Nothing
Half
but
the
sugar.
bag.
Just listening to what you're saying of certain stuff, I would say I watched probably my sugar intake a little bit more because I don't eat certain stuff that I used to eat. Because when I say I'm skinny fat, when I was younger, I'm cleaning out the kitchen. I'm eating everything. I never got big. But now as I've got older, it's certain stuff I don't really eat, or I just don't eat as much as I used to eat. I don't even drink milk.
Good. That's a good thing.
I don't eat cereal.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't mess with those things, but I try to add the little trail mix, but the healthier stuff in there. Okay. I would say I add that, and then oatmeal. Is oatmeal good for you?
It is if it's organic. So oats is one of the most heavily sprayed crops of pesticides. So there's people can Google it, and you'll see that anything with unorganic oats has high levels of pesticides. Even the Nature Valley granola bars that we grew up loving, horrible. Cheerios, God. They have a bunch of tests showing that it's high in this pesticide called glyphosate. So it's if organic, yes, maybe. But who knows? We really can't say because we're not the ones growing the food.
Yeah.
We're relying on this system to feed us.
Yeah.
But how can we trust the system to feed us and we can't trust them with nothing else?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. If it's some hungry people on here listening on this episode, they gonna be upset. But it's good for us because I think a lot of times as Black people, we're scared to go be healthy or to try something different. It's like because I felt like vegan was like a trend.
It is a trend.
Like, it just came out of nowhere. Everybody like, oh, I'm vegan. But then I actually know some people and why they became vegan or why they started eating. One of my closest friends, he had cancer and he beat it, but he had to change his diet. So he eats a little healthier, or he'd be like, oh, you should eat this. And I'm like, bruh, I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to have a health issue to make me want to change. I want to just change before that part, But
that's where a lot of people in our community, that's what it's leading to, is they're not making the change until that health issue has really kicked in to the point where there's really no return from it. Yes, you can improve, but, it's done a lot of damage. Yeah. It's just being more conscious and honestly holding yourself accountable. I tell that to a lot of people that, a lot of customers that I see that you got to hold yourself accountable, because at the end of the day, nobody's going to care about your health as much as you do. Nobody
gonna care. And it's like, I think a lot of people think, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go to the gym, I'm gonna just work out. Nah, it's got to do with your eating. Yeah. Because listen, I do sit-ups, right? I be on my sit-ups. I'm trying to have a little six-pack by, stay at least somewhere by when I'm 40. I got like 2 years. So but I could eat and get my stomach get bloated, and it'd be like, oh, where's the six pack? Where did those go? And it's because I'm not eating the right stuff. I'm just putting anything in. And I've learned that over the last few years. Like, you gotta, because my ex-wife, she lost a lot of weight and started doing the health kick. So I pick up on stuff and pay attention, but I don't know. I gotta work on the eating healthy part. That's I think the exercising, the walking. Yeah,
we all do. I mean, I can't sit here and claim to be the healthiest person, because I know I'm not. I could be doing a lot of things differently. Yeah. But it's always diet and exercise. Yeah. So, we got to put the two together. Yeah, because you could miss out on a couple of days on your diet, or you could hit the gym, or vice versa. So I got a question. Water. When you buy water out the gas station, are the ones with the black tops better for you than just the regular water? I believe it's the ones with the black tops and the blue tops, because those are spring waters. Oh, okay. And the water will tell you if it's spring water or purified water. We want to stay away from purified water. Okay. A lot of the big brands, I don't know if I can say them on here. Yeah, go ahead. Brands like Core, Smart Water, Essentia, Dasani, Nestle even. Those are all purified waters, and those have added in synthetic minerals. Oh, wow. So some of them, it'll say on it ingredients, and it'll tell you what they added into it. Whereas spring water is straight from the spring. It might have been processed and cleaned a little bit, but straight from the spring, nothing added into it.
So don't drink purified water. Okay.
Yeah. Horrible.
Okay. I think
it's like drinking poison.
Okay. I'm trying to think of because I bought gallons. I bought the pack of water, but I bought some gallons. Like, I'll buy that from the gas station instead of. I've been trying to stay away from pop and like juices. I haven't been doing such a good job the last week, but I've been doing good overall. I was just trying to think of that water said purified on there, so I gotta make sure I
double check. Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier. It's just the small bad habits that we're not fully consciously aware of, but they're happening. Yep. Something like the purified water, switching to spring water, or even I have one of those water machines where you put the 5-gallon in, and I get the water delivered, in a glass bottle, and that's reducing, exposure to plastics. Yep. So it's just a lot, and it can be overwhelming. So I think you said earlier, a lot of people they're afraid to make the change. Yeah. And shoot, it was a point where I was too, because it's like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, I can't do that. What's next? What's next? Like, what's the point of even being here then? Nothing's real.
Yeah.
Nothing's what I thought it was to be.
Yep.
So it can get to that point, but I would just say as long as you see the purpose that you have, you'll make it happen. Because, we need good health to survive, You need good health to continue this podcast.
Yep.
I need good health to continue growing food for other people to have good health. So it's all back to food. It's all back to a good diet. So, yeah, we just got to be more aware of what we're doing.
Yeah. But
question everything.
Yeah. So what you just were saying, you could utilize that for business of how you have to sacrifice or make a change or do stuff that you might not want to do, but it's going to better you down the road. Because if you're going for success, you got to maybe take away some friends, take away some bad habits, and replace them with some other habits that are better for you, but you don't want to do them. But if you do them, then it'll make the end of the road a lot closer to your goal or whatever you want to go to. So that kind of works. So with business, I know it ain't been everything ain't been beautiful. How cause was it a struggle at first getting people to buy into what you guys were doing because everybody wasn't eating healthy, or was it after the eat healthy kick came in?
No, so Body Buzz started right during COVID, during the middle of COVID. So I had just been seeing online and doing some research on, juicing more. I didn't even own a juicer until I was probably like 25. So when I started doing the research and seeing that juice can actually help fight COVID, and there was some research published through Harvard stating that diets higher in fruits and vegetables, 40% of those people had not 40%, they had a 40% less risk of the symptoms from COVID. And so I was like, wow, okay, so they just admitted that eating fruits and vegetables helps you, not get sick, helps you heal. So people were coming to us because they had COVID. That's how we kind of really started getting known. But then things kind of slowed down because outside opened back up. And we also ended up moving to Michigan for a year. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting no support in Indy. I'm trying to help these people. They don't want to get no juice. They just want to keep doing what they're doing. They don't understand it. So moved all the way up in Ottawa, Michigan, middle of the woods. And I was like, okay, I'm going to become a farmer, like actually become a farmer. So I started growing a lot, but then I'm like, dang, the winter's here. I mean, the summers here are so short, the winters are so long, I can hardly grow what I want to grow. But being up in Michigan, I was able to kind of just appreciate the business more, develop it better. And so when we moved back to Indy last year, I just put everything full force. I quit the 9-to-5, the persecution, and just started investing my time into the business and realizing that it's not just about me, but it's about bringing my community back together because we're broken. And a big reason why we also left was because our primary target customers is our community. People who look like me and you. And we wasn't getting support. So coming back, I was able to, understand that, well, yeah, I can't just go up to someone and say, this is going to help you do this. After everything that we're always told, I don't honestly even think I can look back and say nutrition education was taught to us in school.
No.
Sex education was, but even barely that. So here I am talking about some juice, and they're like, get that out of my face. I could go buy a juice, a whole brisk for $1. Well, I'm going to pay $6 for your fruit juice. So, just starting to recognize I had to meet people where they were. And once I started doing that, the business started picking up and people started appreciating us more. I started appreciating people more and just what I had to offer.
I love that because you had to take a step away from it to see what you needed to do.
Definitely.
And sometimes I think we be so caught up in, if I stop or if I take a break, I'm going to miss out. And it's like, sometimes you need to. because your brain's overloading, you getting overwhelmed, or you just got so many ideas you need to sit down and structure it. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, right now I've been waking up or staying up late and actually writing stuff down to stay structured, or like at a certain point, all right, you've worked enough for today, go to sleep. Like, don't look on your phone. Don't pull up an app to create nothing. Put something funny on, because you get overwhelmed.
Enjoy some of your time.
And your ideas will go away.
Yep.
So you always need to kind of step back. So I got a new segment. It's called Who's Your Favorite Underdog? So everybody's different, different questions, because people are in different fields. Mm-hmm. So, who's your favorite underdog in science who challenged conventional medicine?
Well, for currently, I would say Victor Bowman. Do you know who that is?
I feel like I've heard the name before.
Yeah, that's Dr. Sebi's son.
Okay.
And so he's continuing his father's legacy.
Yeah.
And he's doing great.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's primarily up in New York, New Jersey area. But he's doing great, you know, hosting workshops.
Yep.
Educating people on herbs, educating people how to heal naturally.
Yeah.
And he's being censored a lot. But, you know, I've been following him. I've been talking to some of his staff as well. So, you know, hopefully even one day we could get him out to Indy.
Yeah.
And really, you know, show the city what true health is.
Yeah, because I think his dad was the light of showing people to eat healthier and stuff like that. Like, when he was out and he was talking, people was paying attention. It might not have happened while he was on Earth, but as his legacy went, I feel like he was part of the reason why a lot of us started to go the healthier route. Who's your favorite underdog in health and wellness business?
People probably haven't heard of him, but his name is Dr. Iris Latham. He's like the grandfather of raw cuisine. He's based out of, I believe, Panama.
Okay.
But he spent a lot of time in the States. He's a black man. Well, he's Afro.
Yeah.
Latino.
Yeah.
But he's going around the world, you know, just showing people, you know, you got to cook your food and it can taste good, you know, mixing different ingredients together. So one recipe he made, and I actually made it too, it was called a paradise pie. So the base of the pie was a mixture of dates and I believe almonds. So I kind of food process it, and I think some flaxseed. And then you just let it sit, harden. And the dates are sweet, so that add the sweetness to it, and just the grounded up nuts made it that graham cracker texture.
Yeah.
And the base was strawberries with dates also, and papaya. And it was just blended in, it was delicious. So you got to look him up if you haven't heard of him. He's on Instagram, YouTube, and just his fight for a healthier, you know, planet and people is great. I mean, he started a whole revolution with raw eating, raw cuisine. And I think a lot of people in our community especially could benefit from following him, because he's showing you how to eat these healthy foods the right way. Yeah. And what they're going to do for you.
Yeah. Because, that... I was trying to, like, when you were talking about the restaurant, I was like, okay, that make a little sense, but I'm like...
You got to see it. You got to see it to believe it. You're like, oh, that look good. I want to try that.
Because I don't like cauliflower, but I love fried cauliflower.
See, and that's the thing, you know, when we're frying all these foods and cooking them, we're literally killing the life inside of them, right?
Oh, no.
So foods like broccoli, you know, fruits, vegetables, they all have water inside of them. They all have alive microorganisms, which are beneficial for our gut health. So when we cooking it all the time, we killing it. So we're really eating dead food. So we got to start. Man, we can still enjoy. We just got to learn to enjoy these foods raw,
crushing all,
and we'll
my
be good.
Boy dreams. Let me go to the next question.
Next question.
Yeah, who's your favorite underdog community leader in advancing wellness?
That's a hard one. There's so many people. There is a guy called Medical Medium. He's great. Then there's also this guy up in Maryland. On Instagram, his handle is Gardening and Beats. It's a black man. Sorry, a man of color.
Yeah.
And he's just doing a lot with the youth. He's teaching them how to grow, teaching them the nutrition aspect, bringing community together for events. And, you know, kind of seeing what he was doing, that inspired me to like, okay, let's start some wellness events out at the farm.
Yeah.
So just back last few weeks ago on the 17th, we had a yoga in the garden event at the farm. And it was right in the middle of the garden, flowers, corn right there, watermelons growing.
That's dope.
And we had sound bowl healing too. And we created a wellness space for the community. People came out like, wow, I didn't even know this was here. Wow, I'm doing yoga in an organic garden. This is cool. You know, it's calming, it's peaceful. So just seeing what, you know, other people are doing with bringing community together, I'm like, Indy needs that.
Yeah.
And nobody's doing that. Yes, we have people bringing the community together in other senses, you know, like building up businesses, building up entrepreneurs, supporting entrepreneurs, things like that. But we got to support our health and our youth too, and our adults.
Yeah.
So
because the last person I had on was Tevin Stutter. I was recording with him and what he does with the youth and the writing of the books and stuff like that, doing different stuff than what we were normally exposed to. Definitely helps. Because I had a player. His I don't know where the garden is, but his mom had him and his sister working in the garden. And he's learning all the different stuff, but he just looking at it like, oh, I get paid some money.
So that's why I'm going to do it.
That's why I'm going to do it. But he's not realizing he's actually learning good stuff.
A skill.
About it. So that's dope to have somebody do that for kids. Who's your favorite underdog in Black liberation promoting holistic health?
I would say Black liberation. Man, it's a lot. Dr. Bobby J. Price, he's a nutritionist. You'll have to look these people up. You'll be like, wow, you know, he got a YouTube channel too. You'll be like, wow, this is some actually good material.
Yeah.
Who else? Victor Bowman again. I would say myself.
Okay. I think every question, everyone, because I have 5, and I think out of everyone, each person I've done it, one of the answers they said themselves. Yeah.
But, you know, I would say a year ago I probably couldn't say myself.
Yeah.
But now that I'm sitting here and I'm confident and I see, you know, the impact that what we're doing is having on the community, I can definitely say I'm leading an example and I'm inspiring other people.
I love to hear that. Yep. That definitely is, because like you said, you could just sit back and look where you was at last year and you like, damn, I'm really doing some shit out here. Like, because sometimes we be so hard on ourselves, we don't realize that we're actually doing something good. It's just like, okay, I'm doing something. Oh, it was a little motion. It's like, no, it was big enough to impact other people. And that's where you get that pat on the back or the high five or whatever. When someone else tells you your product or your service or whatever you're doing is helping them, I think that's more glorifying. It's glorifying as much as a check, depending on if you need to check. Yeah. But it's glorifying to have that, like, man, I love what you're doing or something like that. So that's dope that you can look back and be like, man, whew. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask this last one, but I got a question because I'll forget. So that you said that, what are 3 things that you locked in and did to get you from where you were at last year to get to where you're at today?
Yeah. I would say I became more organized, more determined, and just, let's see. That's a hard one. Last year, wow, so much has happened since last year. So it's like, wow, okay. So I would definitely say, since last year, it's been being more organized, which has allowed me to structure the business better, structure my personal time better, being more courageous and believing in myself. Yep. You know, I'm sure we all go through those times where we're like, man, what am I doing? You know, what's all this for?
Yeah.
And kind of just eliminating that thought and, you know, giving myself affirmations. That was a big part. And one more, I would say just getting out there, breaking out of my comfort zone, out of that box that we all put ourselves in. And literally, when you have a business, you have to get out and talk to people.
Yeah.
You have to know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can't just go up to someone, be so soft-spoken or standoffish.
Yep.
If you want someone to know about your business and you want them to believe in what you have, you got to put your foot down and just get out there. Talk, have a lot of bass in your chest and get to it.
Yep. I love that because I was just at the rally conference the last 2 days, and I'm a people person, and I talk, but I ain't talked to nobody really outside of somebody that I knew.
They
knew
right.
Somebody else. And for you to say that you got to get yourself out there is more so you got to know what you're going to say.
Yep.
And what I was saying to people, they were like, oh, okay, that's cool. But I'm like, I'm not saying what I do correctly to make them really understand what I'm doing. I'm not using the right language. Mm-hmm. So I went back home and I was like, okay, I need to reform how I'm going to say my elevator pitch.
Yep, because those first 7 seconds, that's all you got.
Because I'm at a tech thing and they're like, oh, you're a podcaster? Cool. Like, whatever. And I was like, I didn't say I'm a communicator because I communicate on the podcast, but I also speak. And when I started talking about my speaking, that's when they were like, oh, okay, yeah, you're doing something. And I'm like, I got to tie them together to make it sound better rather than just say, oh, I do a podcast. Because they're like, okay, everybody does one of those, whoop-de-doo. Yep. And it's like, so I'm glad you said that because that really, that hit me I think it was 1 o'clock. And I'm sitting there and I'm about to go to bed I got a little office thing, and I was like, let me write this down because if I don't write it down, I'm going to forget what I said and I'm not going to remember to even put it together. So I'm glad that I asked that.
And for example, with me, I literally would make a bunch of juices and teas and product. And Fridays, Saturdays, when I know barbershops and beauty salons are jumping, I would just go up to a bunch of, and I still do, go up to a bunch of barbershops and beauty shops, talk to them about the business, offer them juice and herbs. And that's also how I've been making so many connections, just by making sure my elevator pitch, my first impression is on point, and just delivering what I have to offer.
Yep.
And it's crazy the amount of people I've met and the resources and connections I've made from just putting myself out there.
When you go outside, you really do get to see the people. Like last year, so I started 2022. I feel like if you're not from Indianapolis, you gotta really go out there and meet people because a lot of people already clicked up or hang with people or know people. Yeah. So when I would go out to different events, I don't go out and hang out and club and all that. I'm going to where you can network, and it's like you see different people or you see the people that you see on social media there, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you get to connecting with people and you're like, oh, this person's actually cool, because sometimes people look different on social media and stuff. But yeah, getting yourself out there and telling people what you do is helpful. Or having or coming on a podcast and someone knowing somebody, because I've got a lot of connections within schools from having a podcast and having the right people on. But yeah, you definitely got to get your name out there however you can. Okay. It don't matter if nobody liking it, because everybody watching it. Trust me. It's people that come up to me and tell me about my podcast or tell me about something. I'm like, I ain't never seen you share, or nothing. But you know all about my stuff. You don't even follow
me. What you talking about?
Yeah, what? And it be so mind-blowing when I hear that. It's like, why you don't like it? Why you ain't share it? That ain't that hard.
It ain't that hard.
I don't get that part.
It ain't that hard.
That frustrates me because I have some friends. I ain't gonna call them out, but I have some friends and I have people on Facebook, and I see them share other people's stuff, and I be like, what am I doing?
You got to just look at it as what you're offering. It ain't for everybody.
It's not, because you can tell by the conversations that you have with people and where their mindset is or how you think. Because I think how much somebody could think, oh, I want to make some certain amount each year. I want to make that in a month or a day. I want to make that in an hour. So when you think like that, you got to be like, okay, I gotta put them in my back pocket. I ain't gonna just throw them away because they my friends. We got good connection. But when it comes to the next level of life, they might not always be there. They might only be there for a season or a certain thing. So
yeah, and I stopped focusing on those people because if you're not in my corner supporting and rooting me, even just by a like or a comment or a share or hey, somebody was sick and I told them about you, or with you, you know, hey, I know a business owner that would be great on your show. Yeah, you know, if you can't even do something simple like that. Keep it pushing.
You said cut them off.
You know, I love you from a distance, but I ain't worried about you.
Oh, you said cut. See, I've been doing that because so two of my closest, my longest friends, I'm not friends with them no more. No, nothing bad happened, just life happened. And I always tell myself, if I can lose them, I can lose anybody else as a friend. So I be trying to, but I seem like God just wiping everybody out.
Friends come and go. I mean,
it ain't even friends.
Life.
It's just like the people, like, because I don't have big family, so some of my friends are family, but it's like my mama, my sister, my dad, my kids, and it's like everybody else is like, and I'm starting to see it as like, okay, those people aren't gonna help you get to that next level, right? Because certain people can help you get up to the 3rd floor, but they can't help you to get up to the 15th floor because they don't know how. So I'm understanding it, and I think it's more so because I'm an emotional person, so I'll be trying to hold on, and I'm kind of loyal, but you can be loyal to the wrong things too.
You can, and that falls into what I said earlier with no one's gonna take care of you better than you do yourself. So we can't expect
nobody.
I told myself I'm done sitting around expecting to see somebody else doing something I can jump on it, or expect to see someone doing the things that I'm envisioning. So I had to just get up, do it myself, and you help me. If you don't, you don't.
Yep, man. that
could be mama, auntie, niece, nephew, anybody.
Listen, it's a lot of people that know the old me. But if you ain't been around in the last 3-4 years, don't come around when you start seeing me getting it and the money coming in and that. I don't know you because you wasn't there when I was sweat, blood, and tears, when I'm crying because I don't know when the next thing about to happen, when a check ain't came in some months and you was nowhere around. I promise I ain't gonna know you. You can say I act brand new. I'm like, I don't know who you are. Like, it would even be almost to, you can't say that with your kids, but you can. It's like, you want me to buy you some stuff, but remember when I couldn't do all the stuff you wanted, and sometimes it be like that. You got to cut family off, or you can't always listen to family. And I know my mom gonna listen. Don't take this the wrong way, Mom. Because I haven't done the podcast just because of scheduling and life or whatever. So I was like, I'm gonna bring it back in August. She was like, no, I'm gonna bring it back in the middle of August. She's like, you should wait till September. And I'm like, it was the end of July. I'm like, I'm not waiting a whole month. And then I had to think, why am I listening to her and she ain't done nothing in this capacity?
Exactly. Yep.
And it's not nothing against her, but it's like, you ain't done what I'm doing, so I don't really need to listen to you in this aspect. And sometimes you could tell somebody in your family that, and they be like, "Why? Well, you hating and you don't." No, you don't.
It's so crazy too, because a lot of the backlash comes from the older generation. And, it's like, okay, well, I'm definitely doing more than what you were doing at my age, so I think I can handle it.
Yeah, but then as the parent and then having a kid, because my daughter, today's her birthday, she's 19, so to be the kid that questioned everything our parents did, then to have a kid that questions what's going on. So I kind of get where that cycle, because my first house that I got was bigger than the house we grew up in, and I was like, okay, check. I'm one up on my mom, and then it's like, but times are different though.
Very different.
Because my son could probably be a millionaire by the time he turns 18. My daughter could probably be a millionaire, multi-millionaire by the time she's 21. Who knows what luck of the draw they get. So I think times are a little different to where we can compare to our parents, but it's like, we're utilizing what we have. I don't think, but they didn't have too much because I was born when the internet came out. So yeah, they didn't
Same,
have.
yeah. I mean, technology wasn't even really a thing when our parents were growing up.
No,
So,
and it sucks for them though, because some of them didn't join the wave of technology. So now it's 2024 and they don't even know how to work a smartphone. Or they don't a laptop. What's that? All I know is the thing with the big motor on this. They don't, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
and I hate to say it, but that's the future. Technology.
It is.
And nature needs to be the future.
Yeah. So, question: how does technology play a role in what you do?
Yeah. In many different ways. I mean, technology is how, we network with people, market with people. Technology is how we put content together to educate people with. It helps, I use AI sometimes for, if I'm making posts or statements, just so I sound a little more professional. I don't offend nobody.
Yeah, I definitely use
so
that.
it plays a big part in just even moving forward. I feel like it's going to play a big part with every business. That's the future of communication, is the future of businesses. Not so much with my business since, we're dealing with nature here and the earth, but we still use it.
Can technology ruin nature?
It can.
In a sense, like,
I mean, it already is.
It has, because
if we look at how all of these computers and batteries and cell phones are made, it's coming from minerals that are being mined, all over the world. So ecosystems are being destroyed to develop the stuff that we're using day to day. So it's like, do we want to keep destroying nature to have these temporary material things, or boost nature up and we still have a home to live on? Because, this is all our home. We all, even though we all got our own houses, Earth is still all of our home, and we're not really treating it like that. So technology, one of them things that's messing it up.
I don't know why this question. So are the Amish people, they eat healthy? They do the stuff that they supposed to?
Yeah, I mean, they're doing good.
Yeah,
their kids aren't having autism, ADHD. I think right now in America, our youth are having higher cases of ADHD and autism than ever before. I even saw a thing. There's more cases of autism in kids than there are HIV infections.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I work in the
HIV
school, so I see, like, it's so crazy because I can point out an autistic kid instantly just by how their mannerisms are, and it sucks because us black people, we fail to realize that something's wrong with our child. Oh no, he just a little off, or no, there's something wrong.
So what do you think? So let me ask you this, because you're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. So what do you think is going on? What's the one thing you think everyone's having in common on why all these? We eat. Yeah, exactly.
And I've learned that as I've got older, and just I don't do a lot of research out of stuff that I don't really have interest in, but just listening and understanding it's in the food, or a parent saying they changed their child's diet and they could see that their child acted a certain way, or because a lot of it's about texture. So it could be, I'm gonna just give them this. I'm gonna just give them this certain food that's not good for them, bunch of sugar, all this crazy stuff, and you could see in a kid, like, why is this kid? Like, I had a kid, my man looked like a football player, and he was the same age as my son. He was in kindergarten, and I was like, wait a minute now, what's going on? I'm talking about he moving furniture, like, super strong. And I think it's
growth hormones.
It's in the food of what we're eating. And then it's also, stop being naive, parents. Oh, nothing's wrong with them. Your child too, and they reading 300 books. You don't think something is wrong? Something that ain't normal. Right. Go get them checked out. People don't see I don't see how people don't see the signs.
They don't see them because they're so, in a sense, delusional. They're so focused on themselves, or just a false reality, instead of really holding themselves accountable too. There's kids being born with autism, and it's very noticeable. So it's like, it's the diets. You can't be pregnant eating hot Cheetos. It's just not realistic. You
Yeah.
can't be pregnant eating McDonald's.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be eating them things in general, but while you're pregnant, that's a no. And
Wow,
you was
that-
right. It's in the food. And the food's been weaponized
Yeah.
to make us sick, just like they put cocaine in our communities, just
Yeah.
like they experimented on our communities, still are. The foods are also, they're microdosing the foods with chemicals,
Wow.
and it's just slowly making us sicker and sicker and sicker. Because
Yeah.
growing up in class, I was born in 95, one or two heavyset kids, no one probably with autism, even the special needs classes, very small groups, 3-4 students. Now 20-30 students in those classes.
You're right. Because with me being born with a physical disability, I was never in those classes. But you would see the kids, and it wasn't a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
It was a very few, like, you knew who they were throughout the whole school. You knew, all right, don't go mess with them, or if you say something, they gonna go. But you didn't really see it. Like, I'm trying to think of an autistic person that I knew as a kid, and I can't think of one.
Me
But
either.
now, within the last 2 to 3 years, I know a couple of my friends, kids, they can have it. Or I worked at schools. As soon as I walk in, I was like, oh, he autistic. They like, oh, well, there's protocol and steps. Why we just can't tell them so they can go get him help? Because I can see it. Like, I don't know how they
Well, that's the
didn't.
thing. The help's not there. Everyone's so focused on mental health resources, medications, but they're not focused on the root of it all, which is diet. There's no one pushing diet as the way to heal. If they are, it's getting censored. And so that's why we're not seeing the big old change that we need to be seeing in our community, because it's not being showcased enough.
That is.
I'll go to events, and we're adults here, and cupcakes, chips, cookies. And I'm like, what are we doing eating this?
Yeah.
Where the fruit at? Where's the healthy options? But it's just the diets.
Yeah.
They got to be addressed. And you'll start seeing that, after this conversation, just more and more in your day-to-day life, your kids' day-to-day life. You're like, you're going to see them eating something. You're like, you shouldn't be eating that.
Yeah,
I shouldn't be eating this.
I definitely got to do better on that with my son. His mom, she eats healthy.
Okay.
He don't. He's a 10-year-old boy. Chips, pizza, these Takis. I don't even. That's a whole. Yeah,
Takis.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
That's
the worst.
Those are chemical heaven right there.
Yeah, because kids eat too much of those and get sick. We didn't eat too much of hot chips, and we weren't going.
That app I was telling you about, you can scan a bag of Takis.
Yeah.
The Yuka app, and it'll tell you causes autism, ADHD in children.
Wow. So I wonder though, because adults, well, I guess maybe the adults are eating them. But then here's another a thing. So when a kid gets to about 3, I think you got to their 3, and then that's when you can get the help. That's when you can get all the counseling, all the ABA, all those different things. But once they hit 4, it's a whole different process. So it's like, if you're not paying attention, or if you're not thinking that your child has something wrong in the first 3 years, that's what set people back too. And I learned that because
you really can't tell. They 3. I mean, you can tell, but then at the same time, you can't.
They're
still developing.
You can and you can't. Certain
you
kids,
think it's child's play.
You can't. But I think it's so much more of it nowadays. You can tell. Like, I had a friend, and I didn't want to say nothing. But I'm like, I'm looking, I'm around, because they got a couple kids, and I'm looking, I'm like, man, he's autistic. But I didn't want, it's hard to have those conversations.
Yes,
but
it is.
A conversation came up, and I was like, oh, good, thank you. I'm so glad. Because I wanted to say something, but I didn't want to be rude, and found out he was, and now I can have a conversation, because I used to work with life skills kids. So that's a whole different... Like, because it's more on boys than it is on girls. Like, it's crazy all the stuff that I learned about autism being in the classroom. But to what you're saying, and like actually paying attention to what the kids that I know that they're eating, you never really catch a lot of them, but it's texture too. You never really catch a lot of them eating healthy.
Yeah.
It's
But
always bull crap.
That's because the foods that they have been eating that's making them addicted, and they completely don't. Their body's rejecting the stuff they're supposed to be having because they're just craving that other stuff.
This is mind blowing because I've heard it, but to have like a conversation, and I know you know what you're talking about, and just to think about all the kids that I've dealt with that have had autism, and like, man, so is there like, so say if somebody does, you might not know this answer, it just come to my brain. If they change their diet, could they change their autism?
Possibly. I believe it's a strong chance. I've seen videos online of moms giving, their children these herbs and detox baths to remove parasites, heavy metals, removing all the processed foods from the diets, and they're starting to speak. They're starting to pay attention better. The behaviors have improved. So I definitely believe it's possible. But we just have to get more people to start doing it. Yeah. So that word can spread. This works. That's why we're working with these herbs here, is because people don't have to be going through all these problems if they just start utilizing what nature has to offer.
Yeah. Because with cancer, like, you can change your diet and that can not cause cancer or help you with, like, it's just crazy that, if somebody watched Dr. Sebi, like, he was on to something.
He was.
Like, he was really on to something to help us and make it a better place for us to actually, like, be here and live. Because a lot of times you got people that aren't eating healthy and then they're wondering why they just want to sit down and don't want to get up. They don't want to do nothing. It's because of what you eat. Because I definitely noticed when I just got water and was just drinking nothing but water, I'm up, I'm moving, I'm grooving, and I add a little pop and added a little lemonade and stuff there. I can tell the difference in my energy. So it's like, it's really important to change something in your diet.
Pretty much everything. They call it the SAD diet, the standard American diet, which is just fried foods, all these oils and sugar. But that falls back to what you were just saying, is you gotta take those steps.
Yeah. Because I ain't gonna lie to you. Yesterday, you know how you have a meal and it just come to you? I was thinking about some fried chicken, some macaroni. I don't know, greens wasn't there. It was yams. And I was like, man, I ain't had it because I can cook. And I will cook, but I don't like to cook. Like, I really was thinking about going to get some tacos when I leave here. So it was like, dang, I really do need to cut out. But I do notice some stuff that I did cut out. I don't eat salt too much more. Like, I don't even at all, not even the sea salt. Like, only time I put, if I'm eating noodles, and I don't eat noodles all the time, rarely eat them, but if I eat noodles, I eat salt with that. But
noodles are horrible. I know. Ramen noodles.
And I know.
You gotta look up the video on how they're made. You're gonna be like, not putting that in my body no more. I think we can barely digest it. Yeah. Just sitting in us. Yeah. For a long time, just building up in our colon.
I can't believe that we really lived off that. And we made it. And it's not that, it's horrible for
See, I mean, I look back at it in the past and I'm like, dang, we were surviving off of it. But shoot, I had acne like crazy on my face, my back. I was, I think, 11, and I ended up getting shingles under my arms. And it was from the deodorant, the Speed Stick deodorants. And so it's not just the food, so it's the products we got to pay attention to as well. And that falls back to what you were saying, how you would notice when you would drink water, you'll be up, more energy. Our body gives us signs. Yeah. And so it sounds like you kind of tapped into it because you notice, okay, I'm drinking water, I'm feeling better. I'm drinking pop, I'm lazy, I'm sluggish, I'm craving more sugar. So we got to start recognizing those signs, even when it comes to hair loss, when it comes to our moods.
Yeah, I hope I never
how we're sweating. So we got to pay attention to them things. Our body's telling us if something's going right, if something's not.
I need to pay attention. I don't know with the sweating part because I hurt my ankle last week, so I haven't been able to run. But before, I would go to workout place.
Okay.
And I'm just sweating like, I'm like, I ain't even done nothing yet. And I got to figure that out because I know it's when you drink water that make you, okay, that's the reason why.
But too, sweating also is removing toxins from our bodies.
Oh.
So that's why a lot of workout enthusiasts say sweat. That's why people use saunas. You're sweating out a lot of impurities.
Oh, okay. Because when I'm talking about, I'm like this. I got to take my glasses off. It's burning. And I'm like, why am I sweating like this? But that can make sense.
That deficiencies is many different things. You know, many different things could play. But the more you start picking up a good diet, like for example, watermelon. If you're sweating like that, you drink some watermelon juice or you eat some watermelon, you're gonna instantly cool down because your cells are getting way more hydrated. You're getting more relaxed.
I might have to figure out how to.
I got some herbs for you to help with that.
And it's crazy. I didn't realize that until I got older and learned what texture was. But I'm like, as a kid, I would eat watermelon, but as an adult, it's something about that texture, and I'm like, nope, I don't care. I don't care nothing about no watermelon. Y'all
were you eating seeded or seedless?
I don't even. That's how long it's been since I've had a watermelon. I don't think it's not the seeds or the seed. It's it doesn't go down. It just doesn't sit well. I don't know. It just doesn't. It almost makes me throw up.
Okay.
Well,
that's crazy you say that because there's a lot of people, you know, who even have allergic reactions to fruits, and they'll think they're allergic. They never eat them again. I remember when I was younger, a few times I severely broke out from eating strawberries. And I'm sure that's because of whatever they sprayed on them. You know what I'm saying? My body was giving me a sign. This toxin just came in here, so this is happening.
Wow.
But as a kid, it was, he's allergic, just don't let him eat strawberries. But when I look back, I'm like, man, it was something contaminated with the strawberries. And I've even heard many stories of men and women where they're allergic to fruits and vegetables here. They go out of the country. They can eat all the fruits and vegetables they want. No flare-ups, no inflammation, no reactions. So that shows us, too, it's the food quality as well.
Yeah.
That's why I said the food's been weaponized because it's crazy what they're spraying on it and putting on it. Now, I ain't going to dive into it, but, you know, we all can do our own research and be like, wow, maybe let me switch up.
Yeah, that even sounds even scary that you could say that somebody could go to another country and it's better food over there than it is here, and it's supposed to be the land of the great or whatever, you know. Yeah, that is crazy when you even think about, and then it's not even, because I had a buddy and he was telling me, because when you just said about being allergic, because I had mushrooms when I was younger and got sick. I don't know if I'm really allergic to them or not, but I say that I am. And he was like, you know, if you take shrooms, like mushrooms, it can help with certain health stuff. Yeah. And people don't even know that. And I was like, and he was like giving me a whole little lesson about it, and I still remember that. Like, he was like, yeah, people go and run to Tylenol and run to that, and you really could eat something natural and it'll help you more than it would that medicine. So I've never been a big pill taker, but even more so when he said that, I was like, I don't know if I should just be taking these pills now because it makes you think of like what's
in it.
Yeah, what's in it.
You look at the ingredients and it's like 50 things, and you're not even gonna look it up because it's like I ain't about to waste my time.
Yeah, because if they putting stuff in the food, then what are they putting? Yeah, that's crazy. All right, my last question.
Got you thinking and questioning everything.
It really is, and it sometimes it's good to be in the vicinity of that information that you hear, because you could watch on YouTube, you could be somewhere and you're like, oh, okay, but to know what you do and you knowing all that stuff and you being here and it's like, oh, okay, maybe I do need to research it.
He got some personal stories to back it up.
Yeah, because
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's different when the information's there. So, looking ahead, what are like one or two goals for Body Buzz do you hope to break down, build up, and bridge within the community?
Yes. So one of the goals is we're working on creating a mobile pharmacy. So being able to go around the city with fresh produce, fresh juice, herbs, and just popping up, kind of like the ice cream truck. Okay. Another goal would be to really expand what we're doing out at the farm. Expanding it, growing more, and educating people, not just kids, but everyone. Because, I mean, yes, we can educate the kids now, but we need the adults now to do it. They're the ones with the money and with the time. So educating everyone on regenerative organic farming and just starting to make change. You know, it's a revolutionary act when we take control of our health and when we take back the rights that we deserve, which is clean, healthy food.
Yeah. That's dope about the mobile pharmacy. Like just thinking about all the older people, because they so set in their ways, and if they just took a little herbs or took a little different fruits or something, it could help their health. Because that's a lot of our older generation, our grandmas, great grandmas, like the ones that live long, they've been eating healthy for the longest. They've been doing the little stuff that they supposed to, and some of them, they still want to eat hog maw and all this other stuff, and don't realize why why
they're going through what they're going through.
Like the movie Soul Food, with you look back on that like, dang, well, she wasn't really eating right, so the doc, that's probably why she was in there.
Put two and two together.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, but that's dope. I would love to see that, just because the different people that I've heard that are changed their diet and it's actually helped them is something that I need to use.
And so before the job I had, the persecution I had before I've put full into Body Buzz, I was working with the largest health insurance company, United Health Group, in nutrition. And I was dealing with the sickest, top 20% of older people on 13, 20, 30 medications a day. Yeah. What are they eating? Frozen dinners, high in salt, sugar, you name it, chips, cookies. So, and they're just they're having all these issues and they're eating all this crap. But when I started to recognize that and I brought it to higher up, I'm like, hey, well, we're not truly helping these people by just giving them medications, which I call poison. Yeah. Why aren't we focusing on nutrition, diet, helping these people better? Because if we do that, way less resources are going to be needed for them. Because really, diet is the only thing preventing them. Yep. I got a lot of pushback because I was really advocating for it. Like, I can't keep doing this work. Yeah. And it's not the right approach. But I see y'all in it for the money. Not actually as a preventative measure. So that's when I left, because I said, we have to address the root problem, what we all have in common, the food.
And that's the first time you even mentioned money the whole episode, so I know you don't do it for money. But that makes me think of my mom. Like, she has a lot of chronic health issues, and she got 50,000 medicines she got to take, and it's like, I don't want to be like that.
And them come with side effects themselves.
Yeah, I don't want to be like one of them older people that have to take medicine for just to wake up, just to do this, just to go to sleep. Like, I don't want that.
And it's kind of ridiculous that they have invested so much time into creating these medications when they're already here.
Yeah. But that's the world we live in. That what makes you look at the world we live in and know is something wrong with it. Because if we know this, they know this, why aren't we just doing it and we all be able to live the American dream like they said? But it's racism here. It's stuff we have to deal with to make certain people's lives harder to get to that making America great. So it's politics.
It is, and money. Yeah. That's all it is. I feel like it's far beyond just race at this point.
No, because you can be a felon and run for the president, but you can be a felon from the hood and can't work at McDonald's. But that's a different subject and a different, but that's just Money changes a lot.
It does.
Money changes.
And
yeah,
it does. And I'll say, I don't want to hold you too much longer, but money does hold a lot of people back from being healthier. So that's why we offer that class too, where we take people out. And you know what? I think with this, after this podcast, we'll set something up and we can say, if you like and comment and share this podcast, you'll get put on the list for a free shopping class. Shopping class.
Yeah, we could do something.
That's
like
a big
that.
barrier for people. They think the healthy stuff is so expensive, and it's honestly sometimes cheaper or the same price.
Yeah,
10, 20 cents more.
Yep.
I mean, you'd be surprised now because it's becoming more available.
Yeah.
So the prices are leveling out, but people just still think it's more expensive, and it's not. And people just need help with that.
Yeah, I think people that think stuff is expensive don't understand money.
They don't.
Because I was one of those people. Like I don't like spending money. Like I just don't like. If I don't need to, I'm not. But then when I go to places and I'm looking at the price, I'm like, well, it is 2024, Eric, and it's not, like before, I would say before COVID or a little right after COVID, things were still the normal price. But in the last 2-3 years, it's changed.
Yeah, things spiked up like over 100%.
It's like, dang, this is a little bit more expensive, but that's how like you can't go through life like, oh, I'm not gonna get that because it's $2 or $3 more than it normally was. And it's like times change, money change. If your money ain't changed, then you need to change your money so it can change with time.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, because it's easier to make
priorities got
to
change.
Yeah, it's easier to make money than it was when we were kids.
Definitely.
You could be a millionaire tomorrow off a viral video. Like, and you could.
But what's millions gonna do for you if your diet is still bad? A lot of these celebrities and people we looking up to, the leaders of this country, what you think they eating?
Yeah.
Bull crap. And that's why the country being ran the way it is.
Yep.
That's why these celebrities we look up to, that's why they, acting out of character and doing crazy stuff. And listen even to the music today. It's like, what are y'all talking about? So you can be a millionaire and still be very sick.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get your health. I can't even talk to y'all. I gotta get my health. I gotta get my eating right.
Yeah, gotta take control of your health.
Yeah, because I definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna try because I don't want to be one of them 40-year-old dudes that can't do nothing or get sick because I didn't do something that I know I should do. If you know better, you should do better.
Yeah.
Tell people how they can reach you on the social media. That sounds crazy. On the social media, on the internet,
media, anything,
on social media. And then after that, give us a Underdog quote.
Body buzz, health and wellness. We got a website, everything. Also, you can find us at Broganville Farm as well. Their website is broganville.com. And the tip that I want to leave off with, or the quote, is children are great imitators, so let's give them something to imitate. It's time we start shaking things up and make some change happen because we can't keep sitting around dealing with the same old stuff. I'm tired of it. You tired of it. Something got to change. Yeah. And it starts with us.
Yeah. I love that because that's kind of been the theme of the day. You and Tevin both are helping kids in different ways, and I help kids in a different way. But that's our future, and it's really dope to be around people that think like that, and to make it to where it's not always about sports. Each person does something different, and sports can be involved in all of it, but it's not the main thing. And I love that because so many kids get caught up in wanting to be like somebody else or what the neighborhood should tell you to be. But you can be yourself. And like being yourself is really cool. Like I promise it is, because guess what? I can go home and not text nobody, not call nobody, and have a great time with myself. I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna crack up, all that good stuff, and go to bed and wake up and enjoy life. So just be yourself. Like I think thinking to be somebody else, it ain't gonna get you nowhere, because you won't be able to find out your purpose living somebody else's life. I appreciate you, man. This was very like I have different. I had a couple health people come on, so I love having those kind of conversations because being skinny, people would be thinking that you fit and all that stuff, and I'm definitely not. I'm probably one of the lower end skinny folks.
Hey, well, that's the first step in the change is holding yourself accountable. Yeah, and that's what you just did.
Yeah, and because I started off doing the treadmill. Okay, and me and my son we do push ups. Well, he ain't been. I ain't gonna say just him. We both been slacking, but he's been slacking more because if I call him, like I could call him now. He might still be doing something. Sometimes he still be outside of his light, and then he come in and he go get ready for bed. And I think he don't want to do them. I think because you can tell.
You have to make.
And that's why I FaceTime him and we do it together, so he can see me doing it, so he can't be like, "Oh well, Dad, nope. If I'm doing it, you doing it." Yeah. And so that's how I look at it. But yeah, when I get paid this coming up week, I'm a buy some fruit, something fruitish. I don't know.
Some pineapples.
To be honest, I think I would do better juicing than I would eating the fruit.
Well, get a gallon from us.
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of mad when it got to the end. I was like, dang, I got the. Oh, I do have a question. Is the water out of not the faucet? You know the little water machines that people have places, not the new ones that they have in school, but. Like that water good for you?
Like at the gym?
Yeah, something like that.
Nah, I mean, not if it's city water. And that's the thing, I mean,
because
Indy's tap water.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Horrible.
Oh,
this is one of the top 10 most hazardous states. Because they allow just everything to be dumped here and used here and created here.
The water here, when I grew up, I could make Kool-Aid. Fine. Mm-hmm. You come here and you make Kool-Aid tea. You be like, this good. Ooh, what's that? No, when I first moved to Indianapolis, my skin broke out.
The water.
Yes, like so.
That's how I was in Flint when the situation happened.
I'm like, what the heck? Like my cousin, like I moved with her and I had to put on some special lotion because I had good skin. My face don't break out. I get pimples on shoulders and stuff. But I'm like, why am I itching? And my skin broke out because of the water. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, shower filters are important too. You know, especially if that's how people are bathing with the showers. Got to have a filter because the city's water, it ain't clean.
It ain't. It's nasty.
But
I don't even want. Yeah, okay, because
it's fine. No, I don't want to keep.
No, because this water came from one of those little things, and it tastes different. Mm-hmm. It don't hit the same. Mm-hmm. It don't. But yeah, I appreciate you giving us the information you need and being able to give us the information in layman's terms to where we can understand it. Because sometimes when you speak about health and different stuff, there's language that some of us don't know nothing about. But I appreciate that.
I definitely try to meet people where they are. I can't sit here and use some big old scientific word and expect somebody to listen to me.
Yeah.
They don't know what that means.
But then the thing with people, they don't ask questions. I'll ask. I don't really care if I look. I'm be like, hey, what that mean? Because sometimes I've learned if you listen to the word, the person's going to explain what the word means after they say it. So then you be like, okay, I get it. Mm-hmm. But if I don't know, I'm going to ask. Mm-hmm. But, subscribe to the channel, Underdog Talk. Just subscribe on any platform. Apple, Google, YouTube. I said YouTube is different than audio. But iHeart, Amazon, Spotify. I'm everywhere. I'm on all of them. Go to Amazon and buy Youth Cheat Code by Christian Jones. It's my son's book. And go on Amazon and grab my book From Underdog to Top Dog, 7 Steps to Academic Success, especially if you got a kid in middle school and up. Go buy it for them. I think that's all I got. You got a final word before we get out of here?
Yeah, just let's all start taking control of our health. it's an essential for us to keep doing what we got to do.
And on that note, keep being great.